All right, welcome back. This is going to be my midweek recap here. Short week. Tomorrow, or excuse me, today for me is going to be Thanksgiving. So the markets will be closed. I wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family time and, of course, enjoy the food. Now, recap here. Monday did break above 170.50. I took some 170 calls at 150, trailed me out at 130. That trade failed pretty fast and miserably. Later on in the day, though, along with some of the trade crew members, got in some 172.5 calls here. My average was 0.255. Had a nice move up there on Tuesday on that gap up. Held support right here. If you look over on the daily time frame here, there was really no follow through. That led me to believe that this was holding support. So it was a good time to go ahead and get into a position. These very cheap options and made a nice move there on the open for Tuesday. Got out of half my position at 52 just for 100% gain. Because it came up to this level, I was simply waiting to see the reaction around here. If I go down here to the 5 minute candle, or excuse me, the 5 minute time frame, it's a little bit easier to see what was going on at that level. It came up, it had a little bit of consolidation and broke right through it. And if you remember from my previous video to start the week, I said if it breaks through here, I'll be happy to add into this move. And it ran right up to the target that I was looking at overall, which is around 173, 173 and a quarter, which was this downtrending intermediate trend line. Um, I did trail myself out a little bit too soon right here. Made a nice gain on it, don't get me wrong. Right here, the 0.88. There's a little bit more consolidation right there at 172.5. As you can see on the 5 minute candle, there was no break below a red candlestick. Basically just overtraded this day. I don't know why, but I was watching the 5 minute time frame. I try my hardest to manage my trades on the 15 minute basis. That way I can catch the largest move possible. This time I was just, I don't know, a little anxious, whatever, maybe it was a short week, just getting back into trading, whatever the case may be. Was not a perfect trade, could have been a lot better, but made some good gains here. Anyways, as it broke back above this consolidation, I did get back into some 172.5 calls here at 99 and trailed me out up here at 155. You kind of barely see those notes right there. The reason I got out up here is volume did come up here at the top, put in a nice little wick above, and did break back below this level, triggered me out for a nice little 50% gain there. So overall on the morning was a lot of good trading opportunities, a lot of good profits. I did take one last trade here as it looked like it was going to hold the 8 EMA I was looking at on another chart, and it just failed. I got in at 175 calls at 45 and trailed out at 38. Small loss, nothing really to cry about. Made a tremendous amount of money on the way up, so no, nothing really to worry about there. Back out here to a longer term time frame. Price action today, right here on Wednesday. Opening 15-minute candle was very ugly. Very, very ugly. Looked like it was going to roll over and reject this whole move up and come back crashing through 173. Held very well on the 15-minute basis. I actually did obey my rules. Got in some 175 calls here at 22. And as you can see, there was absolutely no reason to sell. Got out up here at 44. I did trail my stop loss a little bit too close. But as it turns out, this time worked out well because I would have taken quite a bit of a little bit of a loss, a little bit of a pullback right here had I waited till break below red. But overall, nice trade. This is basically what a short squeeze looks like. You have a long upper wick and a very bearish candle. As price action comes up to it, any bears that are in the trade from this level now have to think long and hard about whether or not they want to try and hold through any kind of pain or if they're going to build a position. As you can see, came up above. Volume remained fairly steady as far as the level of volume there and pushed up higher until it did get another topping candle. On a 30-minute basis, this actually looked very ugly as well. Came right back up to it. Basically, this is evidence that the bulls are really taking control. Now, these were my trades as far as Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Going forward here, I want to go to a longer term time frame. I've already got my notes on here. Just give me 1 second. Cleaned up the chart quite a bit here for the 1 hour time frame. You can see there's a flag right here. Price target for this is basically the length of this pole, which I can make a little bit thicker so it's a little bit more evident. There we go. Is the same height as this leg up. So basically looking for a target around 177. Now there's probably going to be a little bit of selling resistance right here at 176.25. Bears like to trade against the level. Bulls like to trade against the level. That's how you create your risk versus reward areas. And there's just likely going to be sellers up here just because it's another high. Other than that, there's really no reason to be bearish. As I said in my previous video, a break outside of an uptrending channel usually leads to a new trend. So right now, we had a breakout above, came back, simply retested it within a couple of percent, which is definitely within tolerances in my opinion, held the 21-day EMA, reclaimed the 8 EMA with a tremendous amount of strength, and is now pushing up higher. Price action didn't quite expand the way I would have liked. As you can see, the same amount of volume, and the length of the bar is just not as long as the previous one, is what I mean by price expansion. So could have been a little bit stronger. May get a little bit of sideways action, may get some consolidation in here somewhere, but what I'm looking for is basically a move above 130.05. Now, this is just the patterns I have drawn here on the 1 hour chart. If I go back down here to the 30-minute, my actual plans are going to be, I have a couple of support entries. If it does pull back, I'll be looking for support entry here at 173.5, and all the way down here at 170. Now, it's worth mentioning the 8 EMA right here at 172.20 area is basically where this trend line will be. That will also be another area that I'll put my support entry and stop loss just below. So I do have a lot of plans on here. Not all of them will play out. Whichever one does trigger will likely not allow an entry at the other ones. Breakout play above 175. Temporary price target is that previous high of 176 and a quarter. Just because it comes up to there does not mean I'm going to close it. Just like this line right here, if it comes up, consolidates, and moves above, I'll probably take some profit off and then add as it breaks back above it. Any kind of big moves up, never be afraid to go with price action and add into it. Worst case scenario, you bring your average up and you cut down a little bit of profit, but you still stay in the money. Overall target for now is going to be 177 before any kind of major profit taking does take place. We'll see what happens going into Friday. It is a half day, so don't expect too much of a move, but you never know. The market makers could catch people asleep and do what they really want to do. This would be my plan, and a very jumbled chart here full of notes I'll clean up next time. Good luck, and like I said earlier, have a happy Thanksgiving.